Hey, welcome to Jenkins Locks. This is Don. Today what I'm going to be going over is something that happens, and a lot of us don't like to admit that it does happen. It's when you go to rekey a lock, and either you didn't retain the core or whatever, but the top pins and springs pop out. So how do you rebuild that without ripping this off, pushing everything in, and then clamping a new one? So, say you're rekeying, you're repairing, something like that. So what I'm going to do is carefully break this. I know when I was first starting out and this happened to me, I was like, well crap, that's pretty much done for the lock. Okay. Okay. So now, for whatever reason, that happened. So the first thing you want to do is inventory what you got. Okay, so all the springs are out, everything's clear. Now we do have a couple interesting top pins here. That's a standard. Another standard. Another standard. And then we have a couple security. Come on, focus here. Oh, my autofocus doesn't want to help out. Well, anyways, got the inlay portion here, and another security one. So, there's a couple ways of doing this. I like to work from both ends. So what I will do is typically start with one side. See if we can get some more light in here. There we go. So very carefully what I'm going to do, if I don't lose them here, is I'm going to go to the furthest hole in there I can reach. Drop the pin in. And you can see, maybe. God, where's my lighting guy? So now you can see it sitting back in there. Now here comes the fun part. You're going to grab your pin with your tweezers on the top of it. And you're going to go in and push the spring down while pushing on your follower here. So what you'll get is the pin kind of stuck like that. And then you want to tap it down and move forward just enough so that you're ready for the next hole. And you're just going to rinse and repeat on this. Let's go ahead and throw a security pin on this. So again, And bear with me, I'm trying to do this while looking through the camera. So there's a spring. Just going to take this in and gently push it in, push forward with the follower so that we're got it stuck there. And now push it to the next hole. Now you also want to keep track of how many of these you've done. So this is going to be number 3. There's actually, I believe, a space for 6 in this one. And that's going to come into play when we slide this to the other end and start working the other end. Nope. And it does take some getting used to. Let's see. And the reason you have to count how many you've done is when you come over on this side, you don't want to pull this through and undo all the work you just did. And I actually should have used a different follower. So this part right here is going to mess with me. So let's exchange it out for one that's got a flat end. So even though this is slotted, I'm going to make sure it lines up with the top pins here so that well, and that's the fun of doing. Alright. So let's see. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this happens a lot. You gotta start over. So, since I made a mistake, we'll speed this up for the viewing audience. See, even when you're experienced at doing it, you still be a pain in the butt. So typically if I start having that many problems, I'll move the whole one closer instead of trying to extend so far. It's going to be fun editing. Alright, now back to where we were before I screwed up. So now now we've done 3 out of 5. So when I come on this end, I want to make sure that I'm only going forward enough to expose those 2 holes. Because you can just start to see that middle one. Now let's do a nice security pin there. And final one. Let's see if I'm going to flub this one. Okay. So hopefully here you can get a little bit better. So just again, you put the spring in, you start to put the top pin in, and you slide your follower through just to hold this in place so that you can then take your tweezers, pop it in, and now we're back to where we were before, Butterfingers me dropped it. So let's pin this back up. Let's check our work. Beautiful, nice and flush. And since I've got slotted in on this side, put that perpendicular. Pop the clip. And there we are. We recovered from our Butterfingers, and everything is good to go. So hopefully that gave you some insight and some tips on how to do it. If this helped you out, if you enjoyed my bloopers, please consider hitting that like and subscribe buttons. And if you guys enjoyed this kind of video, let me know. If there's something specific you want to see, let me know that too, and we will definitely try to get it up. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Thanks.